lessons. The classic example goes, when you were little, your mom said, don't touch the stove because it's hot and you'll burn yourself. But being the dumb, curious creatures we are, we did it anyway. Because maybe she's lying. Maybe the stove's magic, it gives you candy and money when you touch it, and she wants that all to herself. So you touch it, and you burn yourself. But the good thing is, once you burn yourself, you never do that again. As humans, we learn the hard way a lot. But when we do that, it's the best way to learn. We never make those mistakes ever again. Myself, I have a lot of those experiences, and today I'll share a few with you. Let's flash back 15 years. I'm 4 years old, and this time my family belongs to a neighborhood school about 3 miles from my house. Since I'm pretty developed for a 4-year-old, my dad and I would bike there 3 times a week. On the way there's a pretty big hill, and since I was so young, my dad made me get off my bike and walk. As I rode the route more, I started asking, can I ride down it? And eventually, he agreed. I started slow, but as time went on, I went faster and faster, relying less and less on my brakes. So one time, I decided to go as fast as I could and just not touch my brakes at all. It was great. I went flying down the hill until about halfway down, I hit a small rock in the road. For an adult on a full-size bike, this would not have been an issue. But for a 40-pound 4-year-old on a kid's bike, I went flying over my handlebars. Luckily, there was no injuries, no broken bones or concussions, but I got a lot of scrapes and a lot of bruises. But what I learned that was more valuable is that the road and speed, they're dangerous. And don't play around with them and respect them. And then again, I learned for the first time that I was not invincible, which I previously thought. Now let's fast forward 13 more years. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a junior in high school. This is around the time where I realized that even though I was not yet 21 years old, getting alcohol was still not very hard. So on the last day of school, my friends and I decided that we would mix half a liter of Sprite and a liter of vodka in a 2-liter bottle and down the entire thing in about 30 minutes. Being 17-year-olds with no tolerance, it was a horrible idea. But for the first hour or so, it was pretty fun. We walked to the movie theater because Ryan got free tickets there and sat down for a movie. But about 20 minutes in the movie, I heard a very distinct sound, and that was the sound of liquid hitting the ground. As you could guess, this was puke, and my friend Rex was the one puking. This continued for about 5 minutes or so, until it finally stopped, and then about 20 minutes later, picked up again. At this point, the man in front of us was so tired of hearing this, he moved to the very front of the theater, the front row, as far away from us as he could get. Rightfully so. Anyways, this was the time where Brian and I looked at each other and were like, hey, we need to get out of here. So we did, but didn't realize Rex had not followed us. So we get outside, realize he's not with us. So Ryan, being an employee there, could not have his friend being found drunk in the theater, so went back in to get him. While he was in there, he actually saved Rex from an MIP, because the cop had called in the theater to investigate from like the puking and everything. And meanwhile, I had the worst 5 minutes of my life. I puked the entire time, and I'm pretty sure I was puking stuff I'd eaten 5 years ago. Like, it was that bad. Eventually, we got back to Ryan's house and went to sleep, but not before Ryan, who had remained composed until this moment, spewed blood-red puke, not from blood actually, but from what he'd eaten earlier, all over his basement carpet. This got us caught, as you can imagine, but the more valuable lesson I learned is that alcohol is not a joke, and there's a reason there's a 21-year limit, is to be responsible with it. An analogy I like is that you don't need alcohol to have fun, and you also don't need running shoes to run. In the right situation, on a track, it can help. But in the wrong situation, at prom or a formal, it's not really a benefit to you. So knowing yourself and your limits and the right times is appropriate. And since then, I've never done that again. Now, finally, let's fast forward to about a month ago. My friend and I were returning from Chick-fil-A in Thousand Oaks on the Canyon Road. Right before the tunnel, my friend looked at his phone, got distracted, and the car went a little bit off the road. A rut from the recent rain grabbed the tire and pulled the car straight inside the canyon. We hit once, bounced off, hit again about 10 yards later, which totaled most of the right side of the car where I was sitting, and then bounced off again and rolled about 100 yards till we grinded to a halt on the side of the canyon. The entire right side of the car was destroyed. The door fell off the hinges. The wheel was sideways because the axle was broken. But somehow I walked out with a scrape on my knee and a bruised knuckle, and the driver was the exact same, no injuries at all. It was a miracle. I can thank God for that, and that's about it. But what I learned again is don't be distracted while you drive. That's been a problem of mine. I've texted while I'm driving. I think I'm invincible, but I'm not, and it's not worth it. You endanger yourself, your passengers, and anyone else on the road with you. The commercials are annoying, but seriously, it can wait. And that's the beauty of life. As humans, we make a lot of mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and we're all bound to make mistakes. The people who are successful are not those who don't make mistakes, but those who learn from them and never make them again. So, when you make mistakes, instead of pouting or regretting them, instead learn from them, take them into account, and make yourself a better person. Thank you.